Hey guys, project-zodiac here. I'm back with another video, and as you can see, it's another movie review. And it's a very special review because it's actually the 72nd birthday of this particular movie. It Came from Outer Space. So the day I'm recording this though is May 28th, and I just recently rewatched the movie. I did unbox it. This is the collector's edition of it, so please check it out. And I'm releasing this on June 5th, which is the anniversary of this movie. Um, so in my unboxing video, I believe I mentioned that I wasn't gonna do my Switch unboxing video on this day, but I'm gonna upload it on this day. So on this day, you're getting 3 videos. So sorry for a whole bunch of content on just one day alone, but it is a very special day. So I'm just excited to get all that out. Obviously, these videos for the movie is gonna be out much earlier. Because I still have to go to the store, pick up my Switch 2, and then unbox it, transfer everything. But yeah, so the Switch 2 unboxing will be out later today, on June 5th. So, but in the meantime, you guys got 2 videos to watch. So this is my review on this movie, and this movie is really, really interesting. Um, it it is a very old movie. It's from 1953, and it's one of the first biggest blockbuster movies from a big major studio that was in 3D. I think this was actually Universal Studios' first 3D movie. So yeah, it's very, very impressive. There is a 3D copy in here. Uh, of course, I need a 3D TV for it, but I hope to watch it in 3D. Or sorry, I need a 3D TV. But I should be able to rip it and watch it on my Quest 3. So that could work. I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, so this review is going to be into 2 parts in one video. So this first section will be spoiler free, and then the second section I'll be talking about my in-depth thoughts and spoilers on the movie itself. Now, this movie is very old. Again, it is 72 years old now, so happy birthday for It Came from Outer Space. But even if it is that old, I don't want to really spoil a lot of things because I saw this movie for the first time about 3 years ago, and it really surprised me in the way that it handled the story, which I'm gonna go more into in my spoiler section. So I don't want to give spoilers for this particular movie in this section just because there is a lot of things that is really cool if you watch it for the first time, not being aware of what the movie is showing. So with that said, let's just go straight into my spoiler-free section right now. So It Came from Outer Space is basically just a story about obviously something coming from outer space and the townspeople trying to investigate and figure out what's going on. That's the best thing that I can say. And then there's like a mystery in it as well. That's the best thing I can say right now without giving spoilers. And it is from the 1950s, so it is a black and white movie. But the special effects for this movie is honestly really surprisingly well done. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, in terms of story, it's just done really, really well. It's pretty simple. The movie is actually shorter than I remember. It's like an hour and 20 minutes, but then like the last, I don't know, couple minutes of it is just really, it's just like an hour and 12 minutes before the credits come in. I watched it yesterday, so yeah, it was pretty short overall. So it's definitely an enjoyable movie, but the story itself it's a good mystery. And I think it's really, really cool. It's almost as if it's a Twilight Zone episode, but with a much bigger budget and some very creative cinematography as well. So it's really, really cool. I loved it. But yeah, this movie is, uh, in terms of special effects, let's focus on that first. So the special effects for it for 1953, it's honestly really, really impressive. I was really, really amazed by it because it's some special effects that are, they're really, really. I'm impressed how they were able to do that in the 50s. Um, so because not all of the special effects there are practical effects. So some of the effects that they did is like really, really well done. Some of them is camera trickery and things like that that they did, which was really, really impressive. There are some scenes. This one I can say it's not an issue. There are some scenes where you follow the alien's point of view, and it's done so well and it's so creative. I like how they see things and it's a little bit different. I really really like that. Like this movie in filmmaking itself, like with the camera techniques, uh the story, just the script, all of it is so creative, and they do creative elements with it, which is really really cool. I love how they handle these all of these technical things in a very creative way, especially for a movie that was released 72 years ago and a science fiction movie as well, which is really really impressive. Um, so yeah, this movie I know had been very influential for a lot of other movies that I grew up watching. I think Close Encounters of the Third Kind was influenced a little bit from it. I could be wrong on that one, um, but I do know that there's one very big alien contact movie that is a little like the director grew up watching this one. Um, so yeah, it's just like the way that all of that was done 70 years ago, it is so impressive and so well done, and really I think it's just fantastic. Now in regards to yeah, the special effects, that's the best I can say right now without going into too much spoilers. In regards to the characters, I think that they're all really fine. Honestly, they're not very special. Really, the two main characters, John and Ellen, I think that they're the best parts of the movie. I mean, they're a couple. They work really well together, and it's just really, really nice seeing how they are together. I think that that was really good. The other townspeople, they're a bit just hard headed as well. And it is really interesting how they handle the other townspeople too. Um, as for the mystery itself, again, without going to spoilers at all, the mystery itself, I thought it was done pretty cool, in a really really cool way, and it was actually surprising for this kind of movie to talk about the things that they did, and I thought it was really interesting because it was kind of ahead of its time, even with the mystery and the overall plot with this movie. Um, especially looking at it now. Again, can't go into too much details without giving spoilers, so that'll be in my spoiler section. Uh, but yeah, the movie is done really good in terms of this mystery, and I was really impressed that they did this kind of story for it, and building up the mystery as well. So, um, the alien design, I can I don't know if I should say that here in the spoiler section. I'm going to leave that for the spoiler section. I would just simply say that I do like the alien design. It is pretty cool, but there's something in particular I want to say about it that would be spoilers, so I don't want to jump into it right now because yeah, spoilers. But yeah, the overall story, the overall props, the overall aesthetic, and everything with this, the filmmaking, the editing, it's all really really good. Really, the only complaint that I have with this movie is again just a lot of the townspeople are a bit stubborn, and also I wish we got to see more of the aliens because we actually don't get to see too much of them. Um, and when you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. Um, and also just about their ship. I think we could have seen a little bit more of their ship as well because we don't really get to see too much. But then it kind of goes into that whole thing of like leaving the mystery up to the imagination, which is what Close Encounters of the Third Kind initially did by not showing us um, the guy the guy inside of the UFO, which just shows us him entering it. And then, the director did not like that they made him film a section of inside of the ship. I still have to see that version of the movie though. But so yeah, I get why they left it like this. Also budget, and also in the 70s, or sorry, the 50s. So of course they couldn't go all out with that. But the little bits that we do show, it's still so impressive, and it sticks with you. It's like wow, they showed us a lot without showing us anything, and I think that that was really really cool. So yeah, it's really really cool overall. Again, please watch my unboxing for this. Now, I do know that this movie is very influential, as I mentioned earlier, to a lot of other movies, but on top of that, it's also just a big classic. I was just randomly looking up movies from the 50s to watch about aliens, and I'm like, oh, this one looks interesting. Let me just watch it. And I watched it, and it was amazing. Now, I do want to watch like Invaders from Mars, a couple of other these older alien invasion movies from the 50s, because it's definitely interesting to see the contrast with how they all are, especially in regards to this movie. So I do want to watch those for sure. But this movie, I don't know, like, oh, even the music, like the music in this movie is so fun. I don't know if this is the movie that came up with this particular alien song theme vibe atmosphere that a lot of alien related things have, like the, I'm trying to see how I can hum it. Do, do, do. I can't hum it right now, but um like if you watch this movie, you'll hear that song, and it's just straight out. I've heard music like this from many things related to aliens, like in many movies or many video games. Like if you've all played Destroy All Humans, which was a very fun game, um, I think they use kind of like that tones as well, and it's also set in the 50s. It's so cool. Um, but yeah, so like there is a specific sound that people associate with alien movies and games. And I don't know if it originated from this movie, but when I heard it in this movie, I'm just like, oh, it's not the exact sound, but it is basically like maybe the original and the other ones are reworked from it. Like same atmosphere, same kind of tones, mystery, spacey. It's a very specific sound. So yeah, it's really interesting to see that this movie has that sound, and so many movies, and games and media released after it, like decades after, it still has that. So maybe it could have originated from this movie. I could be wrong on that. If you have seen this movie and you know the sounds I'm talking about, let me know if this was the first movie that had done a sound like that for alien related things. Because I love it. It's so fun. It's cheesy, but it's also atmospheric and mystical at the same time, and just so creative. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this without giving spoilers. Now, there is one last thing that I want to say about this again, is that I love that the packaging and the artwork is really well done, and like at the same time it relates so much with the movie, but at the same time it doesn't. And that leads into the whole spoiler section, because I do want to talk about all of this and how it connects and doesn't connect as well. But yeah, guys, if you guys like the video, please like it, subscribe. Happy 72 birthday for this really cool, amazing movie, and very creative and ahead of its time movie as well. And yeah, just let me know if you've seen this movie, what you all think in the comments below. If you have seen the movie and you want to stick for the spoilers, please stay. If you don't mind the spoilers, since it is an old movie, please stay. But yeah, if you just want to keep watching, thank you. So with that said, let's go straight into now my in-depth thoughts. It's not too much more to add to it. It really is just mostly about the aliens themselves and the mystery with the movie, and obviously the artwork, how it all connects and doesn't connect at the same time. So the aliens themselves, that's what I want to jump into right away. Their design is very, very different from most other movies. They're basically like these jellyfish things, and I wish we got to see more of them. Um, but still, the bits we do, it's really cool, but it's just so quick. But that's what I mean. So they have this giant eye, and the giant eye is like this reflects it so much, and like the beam too, it kind of does. But that's the thing, this makes you think that they're invading the world, and the movie makes you think they're invading the world, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So I again, it relates so much to the movie, but it doesn't at the same time. um For example, I just watched this yesterday, so I should remember this, but I'm sorry, I don't. I don't remember them shooting a laser out of their eyes. There is a device that they have that does shoot a laser, and I thought that that was really interesting for, the 50s, the early 50s, a black and white movie doing an effect like that. I thought that was really, really cool. Um, so I don't think, though, that from their eye they shoot a laser. Um, and then also about the fact that everyone is panicking. Yes, this fits into it, um, but and the fact that there's this big demonic hand kidnapping the girl. Yes, the girl does get taken by a lot by the aliens, as well as does a lot of other people. But it wasn't like this. So again, this is like to just put fear into you, but that's not really how it happens. So like it's reflective, but it's not at the same time. Um, and everyone's panic here is done really well. But yeah, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So, what I love about the aliens design, which I wish we got to see more of, is again that it's very different. It's almost like a giant jellyfish. And why I like that is because one, it's different, but two, also just because not too long ago, just last year, we was it last year or earlier this year? Right now, again, it's May, but just within the past few months, I would say, um, they have released, because I believe in aliens and UFOs and the supernatural. I do. Um, and there was a whistleblower who recently released footage of this thing that's kind of like has tentacles and is flying over a base, and people weren't aware that it was there. It was like only the camera with like this particular sensor was able to pick it up, and it's a bit hard to really make out all the details, but people are calling it the jellyfish UFO. And when I saw that, I was really amazed by it, because that is really interesting for sure. And I completely forgot about the aliens design in this movie. So when I watched it again yesterday, like I remember that the aliens had a big eye, but I forgot that they were like a jellyfish kind of thing. So when I saw this movie yesterday, and then they show up, showing themselves, I was just like, that looks very similar to the jellyfish UFO that was released. The footage was released a few months ago. Obviously, I think that that one was more like a machine, and an alien was piloting it. I don't think that that thing was the alien, but the fact that the jellyfish resemblance, that's what I'm focusing on. I think that that was really, really cool. How this alien is like a jellyfish, and then that device that an alien was piloting looked like a jellyfish was really interesting. So yeah, definitely look that footage up. It is very interesting for sure. So I loved that, and that's why they make you think that this is a giant alien, and it's like one thing, and it has a giant eye that shoots lasers, and then from space it has like a giant demonic kind of arm, and it's taking people. But that's partially how it is. They hide themselves. They do have a giant eye, and they do take people, but it was for their safety. And yeah, that's so that's how it's different. Um, so I love that the packaging makes you be scared just like everyone else is, but then that leads into the other thing that I wanted to talk about, which is just how this movie handles its story and the mystery. So you are led to believe that the aliens are invading, and that there's just one of them, but you find out that there's more, and they're not invading. They just crashed on Earth, and they're just trying to fix their ship, and they want peace. They don't want to destroy anything. Yes, they are taking people, but it's just to help them build the ship, or fix the ship, and then they're letting people go. But the townspeople don't realize that. And they ask John to help them with this, and he tries to explain it to them, but then the town people don't understand. They think that the aliens are lying. So I love that, because again, the movie's mystery itself is, oh, these aliens are here, they're kidnapping people, they're gonna be invading us. And then you start to learn little by little that the people are kind of being possessed in a way, or like images are being reflective of them, and the aliens are using those to walk around as. So it's kind of like, who can you trust? How is it that they're doing this? That's kind of like the mystery aspect of it. And then the revelation of like, no, we just need help, and we didn't want to ask you guys just because you would all react like this. So, we just want peace. We've been trying. This is our first big voyage into space. If you landed in our planet because we're a lot more advanced, we would, not be treating you like this. We wanted to have peace and to really work with you all and all of that, but you guys are trying to kill us. So we just need some hours to get our ship fixed, and then we will go. Like, that revelation and that story is so impressive, because a lot of movies from that era, and even now, a lot of stories about aliens focuses on a alien invasion, and they don't really show that just because there's aliens coming to Earth, that doesn't mean that they're trying to invade. Maybe some, sure, but that doesn't mean that all of them are. And a lot of them want peace and to work with humans and things like that. And I really like that, because it was a story that was really ahead of its time. And if you really research, alien lore and UFO things, you see that a lot of aliens actually don't want trouble. In actual accounts of the abduction cases, things like that. And so it's really interesting that this movie was able to tap into that in a way, and show that kind of a story. Because again, that wasn't really the common factor of movies from the 50s in regards to aliens, and it still really isn't a common factor right now. For example, one movie that I can think about that I love this movie, and it's one of my all-time favorite movies that does focus on a peaceful alien race is Arrival. That movie is fantastic. So that one is a more recent one that focuses on peace. E.T. the Extraterrestrial focused on peace. Close Encounters of the Third Kind focused on peace. So I'm not saying that there aren't movies that focuses on the aliens wanting peace. There are. It's just most of the content about aliens out there is invasions, and I think a lot of it started within the 40s and 50s with them being a lot more fearful of it. But then when people, I guess, started listening to the people who have those experiences, they understand that it might seem scary, but they want peace. So I think that that's really interesting, and I think people who are really more understanding into the alien studies, supernatural studies, things like that, they're able to see that. And for example, Steven Spielberg, he made Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and like, he studies those things too. So it's impressive that when you see that the filmmaker is passionate about that topic, that they show that it's not really something bad, because they research it to understand it. Another example that I love so much, Super 8. That movie was amazing. That's another example. Another one is The Iron Giant. That's another one too. So there are a lot of movies, but generally the topic is, oh, it's a alien invasion movie, so it's gonna be about them trying to kill us. So yeah, I like that this one does it a little bit differently, for sure. So overall, yeah, like this movie is really iconic, really captivating, and it's just done so well. I just, those are the three big things I wanted to say about the spoilers. Again, the aliens design, the mystery, and the way that the story was handled. I just really, really think that the complaints that I had is, the same complaints. I wish we saw more of them and more of the ship. But other than that, really, this movie is, oh, and then everyone else being very stubborn. But other than that, this movie is really enjoyable. It's really creative in so many ways, and I think it's so cool. I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie or one of my all-time favorite movies, but it's definitely a movie that is really captivating for sure. That's why I bought it, because it is so iconic in so many ways, and you can just see that as soon as you watch it, that there is something about this movie that is just iconic the moment you watch it. Um, so yeah, I thought it was really really cool, and yeah, I love the movie a lot. So again, not my favorite, but definitely a movie I really enjoy a lot, and it's just so captivating and so iconic at the same time. So yeah, guys, I really recommend you all watch this movie. It is so cool. It's very creative, and it's just really really interesting for sure. If you have seen it, let me know what you think. If you haven't, let me know if you will. With all that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy 72nd birthday for It Came From Outer Space. So yeah, I'm releasing these two videos at the same time, the unboxing for it and this review. And then later today, I will release my Switch 2 unboxing. But alright, guys, come subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.